without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce well, you guys all know the wonderful Regional Vice President Whitney Haynes and her new District Manager Kara Harvey. They're going to come on and they've got some things that they want to share with us. So Whitney, I'm going to go ahead and turn the call over to you.
Awesome. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, fun. All right, you guys. Well, I'm excited to share with you tonight. We're actually going to be talking about 30 and 30. And for those of you guys who you popped on the Nation Connecting call, oh gosh, when Beth was in Maui, I was talking about 30 and 30 and, sending out this text message to people and just a wave of momentum that it brought into our business. So, kind of how this all originated is I have a friend and she's in qualification for National Vice President, and I saw her team go from like this to this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, girlfriend, what are you doing? And I started hearing about this 30 and 30 and seeing this SoundCloud. It's a Donna Johnson SoundCloud by Kathy Lutz, and it's all about 30 and 30. And she was like, oh, if you haven't heard that, because I congratulated her for being in qualification. She's like, if you haven't heard that call, you got to go back and listen to it. Well, you guys, Beth and Terry and Carlita and everyone else was already saying you've got to listen to this call. And then the one right after it. So I went back and I listened to it, and Kathy Lutz said in that SoundCloud, almost every time someone comes to me and they're struggling in their business, I ask them, how many people have you told the Arbonne story to this month? And then when they say, well, I was supposed to have this and it canceled and this rescheduled and what, she goes, no. How many people did you tell the Arbonne story to in a 30-day time period? You guys, that is part of the recipe for success, but oftentimes we get so overworked and bogged down by having to have 8 perfect parties that we just forget everything else. Like, we just totally forget it. We write it off. We're like, oh, can't get a group presentation. I'm done. So you guys, I wanted to share with you, and I know that you guys have all seen some form of this sheet. There's a few different sheets that are circling around out there, but you guys, you have to track how many people you're getting in front of, because trust me, there are days that I have like a booking blitz with myself, or I binge Arbonne by myself, and I feel like I've talked to 100 people about Arbonne. But in reality, I have only talked to 2 or 3 because that's all the responses that I've gotten back. So you guys, I decided January 1st, new year, new you, right? I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I'm not busy. I'm not too busy to print off this little old sheet and actually write names on it, okay? So January 1st, I was like, no more excuses, Whitney. All you have to do is click print it off, and fill it out. And just like to back that up, I also printed off another sheet about 30 days of consistency, okay? And it's filled out for those of you guys who can't see. So here's the thing, you guys. I felt like I was working Arbonne all the time, but really I had no idea how many people that I was actually sharing the story with. So every day I write down what date that it is that I've asked new people to sit down with me one-on-one about the business, to sit down with me to talk about the products, ask them to host with me. Every single day for the month of January, I ask minimum 7 people if they would do something to sit down with me and talk about Arbonne. And then I started filling this sheet out. So I want you guys to know, just for me personally alone, the first week of January, I had 1 thing on my books, okay? And I started asking every day, consistently. Small, consistent efforts compounded over a period of time give you the results that you're looking for. So every day, I consistently started asking, and I want you guys to know that by the end of January, so we just closed out last night, by the end of January, we had personally brought in 7 new consultants from using this 40 Faces sheet and getting in front of 30 people in 30 days. We brought in 7 new consultants, and we have 5 more people saying that they're signing up like right now, this month, in the month of February. You guys, our volume increased over $10,000 in sales from year over year. So last January to this January, over 10,000 in sales increase. And so the key about this, you guys, and Eric Worre talks about it in some of his training videos. We've all heard Eric Worre's training video. And if you haven't, go back and watch it. You can find it on YouTube. So Eric Worre has a training video about texting 100 people or calling, X amount of people. And you guys, really what I want to encourage and inspire you guys to do is to know that if you just reach out to like 5 people tonight, you're probably not going to get in front of 30 people this month, okay? But what's going to happen is that you're going to have this big ball of momentum to get the show rolling, right? So I started asking these 7 people a day, and it compounded and compounded and compounded, and then all of a sudden I had this like booking blitz with myself, really got things done. And you guys, the first like 3 people that I talked to in the month of January joined my business and are now in qualification for district manager. But had I had not tracked it, you guys, it would have never grown. You guys, what you track grows in your Arbonne business. And in fact, I filled it out so far that I had to start writing names down the side. So I was able to share the full Arbonne story with a total of 51 people for the month of January. And that's just me by myself. 51 people. So whenever I'm reaching out to people, again, I'm using that texting verbiage like I shared with you guys on the Nation Connecting call. And so I'm simply sending a text message, and it's usually to people that I don't have their phone number. So it's not really a text message, it's more like a Facebook message. I say text because, I don't know, it's just what comes out of my mouth. So I'm reaching out to people and I say, hello, so-and-so, how are you? I'm reaching out because I'm in a special mentoring program with my Arbonne team. I've been challenged to get in front of 30 people this month. Just to give a brief overview of Arbonne, I totally get that it may not be a fit for you personally, but I just need a set of ears. Ha ha ha. I know it's a busy time, but do you have 20 minutes to spare? If so, I would love to buy you a cup of coffee. I'll even bring you some samples as a special thank you. So what I love about this verbiage, you guys, is that I wasn't saying, hey, oh my gosh, you know, I just started this business. They have amazing products. They're pure, safe, and beneficial, blah, 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 blah. Because I think sometimes we all love Arbonne, and we know that we are the bomb. We know our ingredient policies are second to none. And we start talking about the products, not meaning to. Like, this is a totally innocent thing that we do. And people automatically feel like, oh my gosh, I already like what I use. I don't need anything else that she has. It probably costs more money, and I just don't want to switch. So they shut us out. So what I like about this verbiage is that it says, I get that it may not be a fit for you. I honestly just need a set of ears, and I've been challenged to get in front of 30 people this month. So when they respond to you, they're like, oh, you know what? I've got 20 minutes. I would love to meet with Whitney for coffee. You guys, this is working. Like, I'm doing these over the phone. I mean, I have, you know, contacts all over the United States. And I'm like, if you have 20 minutes or we could chat over the phone, that would be awesome. And people are chatting with me over the phone. So I took that 100 text challenge that Eric Worre had, and I started reaching out to people on social media. And then the 30 and 30 challenge. So again, that goes back to this sheet. I printed this sheet off. I was like, all right, Eric Worre, I'm going to get in front of 30 people this month. I don't care how I do it. I don't care if I have to do a whole bunch of one-on-ones, which is funny because one-on-ones is actually what spurred my business into Region this time last year. And so I had to get back to the basics, you guys. I know in my head, I was overworking this sheet. I was like, oh, I don't have time to fill that sheet out. I mean, really, do I have to go to the website? Yes, you have to go to the website and print this sheet off. It is that important. It is that game-changing in your business. And then you have to act, obviously. You can't just print the sheet off and stare at it. But I was like, you know what, Eric, I'm going to take this 30 and 30 challenge, and I will get in front of 30 people this month. I'll do it. I'm going to do it. Because he says in that video, most people in network marketing will never, ever get in front of 30 people in a short amount of time. You guys, it's not 30 people in 60 days. It's 30 people in 30 days. That's the key. That's the key. You have to be willing to do a lot in a short amount of time to build up that momentum that's going to propel your business to the next level. So if you guys haven't listened to that training by Kathy Lutz, go back and listen to that training. If you haven't listened to Eric Worre's 30 and 30 training, go back and listen to that training as well. Eric Worre's is really short. It's like 5 minutes. Kathy Lutz is a good, learn and burn SoundCloud training that you can listen to when you're driving in the car. But it's the truth, you guys. Take a step back. Evaluate your business. Are you where you want to be? I think all of us have room for growth, right? And if you want to grow to new heights in 2017, make yourself print off this sheet and fill it out because it's that important to track. So I don't want you to just hear from me. I want you guys to hear from our new district manager, Kara, because you guys, I was telling my team, I was posting this verbiage. I'm like, guys, I know it feels weird. Like, I know it sounds funny and feels weird to say I'm in a special mentoring program with my Arbonne team. I was hesitant to send it out. and I tried to do it my way, and my way wasn't working. And when I embraced this and started sending it out, I went from having a couple of activities on my books to launching 4 new business builders in my central district and growing massively. So I want to introduce you guys to Kara and let her kind of give you her spin on what the 30 and 30 did for her. Kara, you'll have to unmute your mic.
Hi guys. Okay, thanks so much for letting me share tonight, Whitney and Beth. I really appreciate it. All right, so I want to start by sharing a little bit about me. I started my Arbonne business last April, so April 2016. I hit district manager in about 2 months. I wasn't really sure how I did that. I think just from, family and friends that were like, all right, we'll buy something from you. And then after I hit district, I began to lose the vision that I had started with. I started getting into my own head and I got really distracted, and then I ended up losing my status as district manager. So in December, I decided, okay, I'm going to start this again. I'm on board. Whitney, help me, let me know what I need to do. So she and her upline had encouraged us to do this 30 and 30. I wasn't really sure what that looked like. I actually wasn't really even sure what it meant. But I knew that my upline was really successful and I trusted her. And so I decided that I would jump in feet first. So I copied and pasted this verbiage that she had sent. And I felt like, what did I have to lose? I only had 3 activities the beginning of January. So with this verbiage, I knew that I wasn't offending anyone. I wasn't begging anyone. All I said was I need 20 minutes and a listening ear. LOL, haha. It says it right in the verbiage. It's kind of hysterical. But it took out all of the emotion. So I wasn't having to pick up the phone, and I did. I called some people, but I simply just read this verbiage. I wasn't having to figure out how to talk to people or how to ask or do any of this. It was just so simply laid out. It took out all the emotion and was able to get me over that hump that I needed. But track, guys, I didn't track in the beginning, and I think that I did. I got in front of 40 people in 30 days, but I think I probably lost a couple people here and there on some online stuff that we had done. So make sure that you track, guys. I'm learning right now in the self-development that I'm doing that we have to breathe life into our visions. And so these people, as my months started going on and I started learning this and realizing that if I breathed life into the people that I had envisioned and the people that I was contacting and sending the verbiage to and the people that are on my sheet, I was breathing life into this vision, and this vision was beginning to take place. And guys, I started seeing results from being intentional with the 30 and 30 and sending out this simple verbiage, but breathing life into those visions that I was creating for myself, that vision that I created, that I decided back in December that I wanted to be area by GTC so that I could go to the white party. And that meant hitting district in January. So I started getting yeses from people, and people started asking questions, which is exactly what I had been missing and what I was looking for. So as a result of the 30 and 30, I am proud to tell you that I am a district manager now. I have 1 business builder, and I actually just got a phone call from a girl tonight, and she's signing up tomorrow. And then I have 2 more girls that are interested that are, they just have a couple more questions, and so they should be signing up this week too. So just super exciting, and I got a full calendar. And I hit district. So just really awesome. So just a couple things that I want you all to take away from tonight. Get your sheet, print it out tonight. Do not start tomorrow. Don't start tomorrow without it. Print it out, start tomorrow, write down every activity that you have so that you can breathe that life into those activities. Be better than I did and start from day one of your month and make sure that you're keeping track. So that's it. That's all I got. Thanks so much, guys, for letting me share. And I just cannot wait to hear next month who has hit their goals that they're looking for, and everyone that's going to GTC. I can't wait to meet all of you and get to know you better and be at that white party with everyone. Let's everyone going to GTC. Let's get area by then. Thanks,
Awesome.
guys.
Thank you so much, Kara, for sharing. And you know what, guys, I just wanted to share with you at the beginning of the month when Kara and I sat down to goal set, and we were like, okay, how are we going to finish district this month? And she had 3 group presentations on her calendar. 3. That's it. That's what we were working with. And because she decided to do this, it starts with a decision. Because she decided to do this, she went above and beyond. I mean, if she was already a district manager, she would have bonus in her district yesterday, and was, I mean, super close even to area qual. So she went above and beyond because she decided to do this. But before I throw it back to Beth, I just want to end with this, you guys, a quick story. And I know we're close on time, so I'm going to keep it real short. So for those of you guys who don't know, I had a super crazy day yesterday. And it's funny that I can smile about it now because I know that God had his hand in everything that happened. And it's just so crazy how timing is, right? I went to a training in Nashville, this past Saturday that Lisa Voorhees put on. It's called The Bash in Nashville. And I got to sit at the feet of our former CEO and president, I think, right? She was our CEO. Right? Rita Davenport. And I have never met Rita Davenport before. Rita was before my time. So I got to sit at the feet of her, and she kept talking about this training that she did. I think it may be an NTC years ago called Prepare for Impact. And she said, for those of you newbies, for those of you guys who have never heard this training, let me talk to you guys about preparing for impact. And she talked about this business is not too big or too small for anyone. And, you've got to be ready because you never know when someone's going to fall and break their neck. And she was giving all these crazy scenarios. And I was like, okay, Rita. Thankfully and luckily, I was in personal activity. My team was in activity. We were starting to duplicate this 30 and 30. And it's just so crazy, guys, because let's see. So that was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, Monday. So 3 days later, I got a phone call. I was getting ready at my house, getting ready to go do an Arbonne party with a couple of new girls that I had getting started. And I got a phone call, and it was my mom. And it was like one of those phone calls that you're like, oh my gosh, like what's just happened? I really thought someone had passed away. She was bawling hysterically. She was shaking. She couldn't catch her breath. And I was like, Mom, what's wrong? And my mom had been in a car accident. And she was driving. It was her fault. She accidentally ran a stop sign, and a semi-truck T-boned her in the side of her car. And it was one of those situations where if it would have been an inch further, like closer to the driver's side, she would have died on impact. Like that's how hard the semi hit her car, and she spun around. But luckily she walked away without a scratch, and she's just really sore. It hit right behind the driver's side. While simultaneously, my sister was going into labor in another city that's like 4 hours away from where I live because she was preeclamptic and her blood pressure was almost 200 over 100. So my mom calls, she's bawling hysterically. She just got hit by a semi-truck. She's trying to figure out how she's going to get to my sister who's in labor. And I'm trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do with my Arbonne party and get to these girls. So I was bawling, my mom was bawling, everyone was bawling, and I just kept hearing Rita Davenport in the back of my head, prepare for impact, prepare for impact, prepare for impact. Not to mention that it was close day, right? Which we all know how crazy busy close day is. And I was just inches away from hitting my personal goal for the month. And I had been sending out lots of like messages throughout the day and reaching out to, old preferred clients and just trying to really rake in those last sales. And so people were getting back to me, my phone's going off, and I'm just dealing with all this stuff. So I'm literally like, okay, like stop, breathe, pray, prepare for impact, prepare for impact. And so it's crazy. It's all over. My sister had her baby. She's fine. Her blood pressure's fine. My mom's fine. But I walked away from that situation and I said, you know what? I am so glad that I did not wait to start my Arbonne business before it was too late. I got to sit there and be in the presence of my sister and birthing this beautiful baby and make sure that I could drive my mom and got my mom taken care of and got my mom to the emergency department because I don't have a full-time job, a 12 to 12 job like I used to. I don't have 3 nursing jobs like I used to prevent me from going and being with my number 2 priority, God number 1, number 2 being family, I didn't have anything stopping me, you guys. And because of my Arbonne business, because I didn't wait, don't wait to take this 30 and 30 challenge. Don't wait to print off this 40 faces sheet, you guys. Do it today, because you never know when you're going to need your Arbonne business the most. And yesterday, I needed it the most. I didn't have to worry about calling into work or getting in trouble for missing work or all of those things. You guys, my Arbonne business, it showed up, right? Sometimes we're like, you got to show up, you got to show up. And I was forever grateful that I had did what Rita Davenport said and prepared for impact. So that's what I wanted to leave you guys with. You never know when it's going to happen. You never know when the impact is going to hit. Don't say you're going to print this 40 faces sheet off tomorrow. Print it off tonight before you go to bed. Don't say that you're going to take Eric Worre's 30 and 30 challenge next week, because next week might be too late. You could meet your next national vice president between now and next week, right? Don't wait. So I just wanted to share that story with you guys, because I thought, you know what? I cannot believe that I just met Rita Davenport. I just heard this training about preparing for impact and all the steps that I had been taking in my business in the month of January. And I am forever grateful that all of those things came into place at the same time. And I feel like it's my duty and my obligation to share with you guys. Don't wait until it's too late. So that's all I have. I'm going to turn it back over to Beth. I hope this info was helpful. And if you guys need anything else about the verbiage I shared, I can post it on the Nation page.
Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. Oh, gosh, Kara, you did so good. I'm so proud of you. And Whitney, you as well. I hope you guys are as inspired as I am, because they just inspired the heck out of me. So really, what's going to hold us back from printing these off? What's going to hold us back, you guys? Maybe we might roll our eyes and say, oh, that's good for her. She's lucky. There is no such thing as luck, you guys. There is no such thing as luck, but there is such a thing as hard work and preparation and opportunity. And when you combine those, it makes people look lucky, but there's a lot of background work, and this is the key to our business. And I agree with Whitney. If you have not listened to Catherine Lutz's call, we probably sound like a broken record, but it's that important. And so I highly encourage you to go to SoundCloud, look up Donna Johnson, and look for Catherine Lutz. That's the call, and it's called The One Thing. But guys, you don't even have to listen to that to really get out of this Zoom what it's going to take for us to grow. So guys, why don't we all just do it? Let's just print this off and decide that February is going to be the first month of many, 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 because can you imagine where your business will be if this happens 6 months in a row? Even if going for it, if you just decide I'm going to go for it for 3 months straight, can you imagine where you're going to be? I know many, many of you have a goal of being with Kara, because I know her goal. And congratulations, Tracy Vincent. You just got your invitation to the Pure Vibe party. Can't wait to dance with you there. But many of you have a goal to be at that presentation or that party in Vegas. And guys, your business can alter and change in just a few moments. You could be looking at your, maybe you're looking at your circles this month and you're like, I have new circles. That's okay. It completely can alter, just like Whitney and Kara both shared with us at the beginning of the month. Their month looked a lot different in the beginning of January, but how it ended, it's not how we start, guys, it's how we finish. But how we finish is going to depend on what we do on the in-between time. So guys, let's go for it. Today's February 1st. What have we got to lose? Absolutely nothing, but we've got everything to gain. So that's what I wanted to leave you guys with, is to go for that. Get out your calendar, you guys. And because we need to be prepared. So I want to encourage you to get out your February calendar, get your little highlighter pen and highlight every available time slot you have. Every available time slot where you can do one-on-ones, every